The existing bridge was built in 1969 with the original construction of I-71. It still had its original deck and fence on it. It was 8 feet wide, had a fence either side with like a roof on it. It was a very tight feeling experience for anyone wanting to use it.
We learned the local community felt that it was not a very inviting, very user-friendly experience. So the need was really rooted in those two issues, and the project goals looked to address those with a replacement bridge deck.
Made it as wide as we could, working with the existing beams that were there. On a bicycle, you're looking for handlebar space, 8 feet. Seems like a lot, but it's really not if you're trying to pass somebody else and you want a little more room to maneuver. We didn't want to get into replacing the beams because they were still in very good condition.
That led to some structural design iterations to see what that maximum width could be. Ultimately, it was a little greater than 9.5 feet, which was much better than existing, and ultimately led to the successful design of this project. From a functionality sense then, we worked closely with ODOT and the Tremont West Development Corporation. They're basically stewards of the Tremont neighborhood for the city of Cleveland. They're a nonprofit. They had a bicycle linkages plan that this bridge was specifically a part of. With that plan, they wanted a more user-friendly bridge. And what they meant by that was the open top fence.
When you're riding a bike, you're kind of very conscious of what your headroom is. When you're approaching anything where you're going under something, you're higher on a bike than you are when you're standing on your 2 feet by 6 inches to a foot, so you don't want to feel like you're about to strike your head.
As the project developed, working with ODOT and the city of Cleveland, that ultimately developed into the open top fence you see today, which was a 10-foot fence with the addition of some rub rails for cyclists.
This section of 71, I don't think has any period of the day where you can close a lane and not cause a backup, so working within permitted lane closure times is challenging.
The 6-span bridge spans I-71. It spans ramps from the Jennings Freeway, ramps from 490, and ramps from 90. So we have a very high volume of traffic that will be working above. The goal was to see if we could find a phased construction sequence that made use of ODOT standard drawings, fit within the permitted lane closure chart, keeping 2 lanes of traffic open on all the corridors at all time, and ultimately found that that was feasible through 6 phases.
I always enjoy getting a chance to see something I was involved with when it's finished and done. And I feel like I just saw some people coming across before we got here. I feel like it's getting the use. I'd say it's a successful project, went very smoothly in my opinion.
It's very rewarding to see the final product. I think this project is a good example of not just the partnership with ODOT and replacing the bridge deck to serve ODOT structural needs, but also working with the local stakeholders to serve the community needs and ultimately the people who use this bridge every day.